It's me, MC of Healthy by George. I come every Sunday and Friday and talk about things that'll help us live longer into our much older years. And today I'm going to talk about the health mindset, which I'm struggling with. I don't know about you, but definitely I am struggling with it. Think about subscribing. I would love to see you here, have a conversation, build a community that supports us daily to do things to keep ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally improving to our much better self long into our older years. So, why am I talking about a health mindset? I think for me, what came up is when I was journaling, I realized that I think I have an old frame of what a health mindset is. When you've been someone like myself that's been overweight for over 40 years, struggling, challenges, emotional eating, triggering things that have happened emotionally, either through some type of PTSD or just the stress of life sometimes, I think I've always had a problem with turning to food for comfort. And that's a challenge. And I can say that I've improved a lot more during this process of becoming deeply aware of what does trigger me and what is challenging. But truthfully, I think I need to wipe off the cobwebs of my thinking and build a new mindset around what is health for me as I get older and want to learn to support a much smaller person than I've ever been in a long time consistently, to support a person who builds muscle and strength, and a person who has a very moderate lifestyle towards eating. I'm not one of those people who says no more sugar, no more fat, no more white flour, processed foods. I can't live with severe restrictions. I need to live with kindness and compassion. I don't know about you. When you're surrounded 24/7 sometimes by food, whether it's advertisements on the television, or you pop into a grocery store, or you pop into a 7-Eleven. What do you see? Donuts, chips, all these things, little Debbie's screaming at you. Try me. And frankly, I'm one of those people where if I'm feeling somehow vulnerable or some kind of stressor showed up and it's late in the day, or maybe my stress is showing up earlier in the day, I can't say that I'm going to be able to resist all of that, right away. I do know one of the things that I am becoming aware of, and maybe that's what it is to have a health mindset, is that some of the things that used to taste good to me, now they don't taste so great. I did try some things that I was like, oh my God, this is really too sweet for me to even eat or enjoy. That was a big revelation, I have to say. And I had to really take that in because this used to be a food item that I would eat and enjoy. But now I feel I can't eat it and it's too sweet. I ended up taking just a few bites and throwing the rest of it away. That was a real shock to me. So, what does it mean, I think, to build a health mindset for ourselves? I think what I have to do for me is recognize right now what are my attitudes and beliefs and what motivates me when it comes to shaping how I want to show up for myself consistently, to take care of myself so that what I choose to do supports my desire to live healthily much into my later years, to be able to function, to be able to do things, to not let my physical or mental self be a barrier for me to have enjoyment in my life. And I hope that's something that you desire, to have enjoyment in our lives into our much older years. I think that's an awesome desire. And so, what do I need to do for myself to build beliefs, build attitudes, build habits that will shape my mindset daily so that I can be consistent in showing up to take care of myself and what I need to do daily to invest in that healthier person who's going to live into their much older years, still functioning, still thriving, still enjoying life. I hope that's something you desire as well. But I find it hard sometimes to get in touch with that and think about what does that mean? And I think what I have to do is start to see myself physically and in my vision or my imagination, see myself as someone who takes these actions. I think for so long, I've seen my life and my body as a challenge. And so my choice was always to just turn it off, disassociate, not pay attention, ignore. That was an easy choice because then if you don't pay attention, you ignore it, you turn off how you think and feel about your body. Hey, then who cares? Who cares what you eat? Who cares if you're exercising? Who cares if you're doing something daily to promote a longevity lifestyle? And unfortunately, that's, I think, where most of my life has been. It's been in a turned off mindset. How about you? Where's your mindset been? I think there's all kinds of things that we fall into, either because society is pushing us. Oh, you have to be one of these people, like an athlete, you show up, you do this, you that, blah, 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 blah. You get up in the morning, you have this routine, or you're this person. But I'm not like that. I'm someone who is slow to come to a sensibility about my physical self because I feel I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get an idea of what it is to balance my actions so they are sustainable. What are my activities that I can sustain? And where do I trip up or fall into a hole? I think for me, it's always bread, carbs, these things that are overly processed. Those are the things that are really my enemies. And I need to find a way to still feel like I'm not depriving myself, but that I'm not really falling prey to the challenges that overprocessed food do to our health and our well-being, both mentally and physically. I also need to understand what it's like to take real ownership and responsibility for these actions daily. What does that mean? And so I've been journaling. What does that mean? It means for me, keeping it simple. I'm going to just say, I can't do anything too complicated. I need to keep it simple. So my choice is what is the several minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes that I can start doing first thing in the morning that will support a healthier, both physically and mentally person. So I've got a little teeny tiny yoga routine I'm doing, followed by walking the dog for 35 to 45 minutes. So I'm really aiming towards this month of September, seeing how that goal goes. And can I take ownership of that action and be responsible for showing up for myself? So, what does that mean? I have to track it so I'll know, was I being responsible to myself? And was I following up on what it is I agreed to do? And how do I find a way to keep my attitude in a frame of kindness, compassion, yet positive and fun? Because we're none of us going to do things that we hate and we don't find a little bit fun. So finding what's fun about getting up earlier and doing some stretches, I'm not so great at that. But I think what I can do is I can put a reward somewhere in there, like a massage. So I have this massage gun, and I've decided if I do my morning 5 or 7 minutes of yoga, I can then spend several minutes, maybe 5 minutes, of using my massage gun. That might be really nice and fun, something to look forward to. So we have to work with ourselves to figure out what is a health mindset for each of us. And what does that look like? And especially, what does it look like in a daily action? So I'm starting off simple with some movement in the morning that's simple, 5 to 7 minutes of some yoga. And I'm working towards building up what I call the 1 minute movement routine. I'm going to do a 21-day challenge, and I hope you'll think of joining me starting September 15th, where every day I'm going to do 1 minute of some type of muscle and strength exercise, either with a band or with my kettlebell. I think I can commit to 1 minute a day of doing some kind of weight work. What about you? I know it needs to be simple with a reward at some place. And maybe my reward for doing my 1 minute movement is going to have to be something bigger than just using my machine, my massage machine gun. I think it's going to have to go and actually get a massage. So be well, my friends. Please think about subscribing. I would love to see you here every Friday and Sunday, because we have to be intentional about how we're investing in our lives and our well-being into our much older years daily. It's a daily investment. How are we putting in that little bit of time and effort to give to ourselves so that we have a future that is about fun, enjoyment, and keeping life as nice as it is right now? Be well. Please subscribe. Please share. I would love to see you here every week and talk about those things that are important to us as we get older. Bye-bye.
So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.